Traders, welcome back to another price action lesson. Today's market started out with an uptrend working higher with a break and a new extreme. This is all in the overnight session here. The market didn't open till around this area here, so we had a break and a new high to start the day. We had two legs down, a downtrend with a break and a new extreme, another push lower. It was turning quite sideways, so when we pushed above the EMA right here, this is about where the market opened. I went ahead and drew my support and my resistance because it felt real sideways at this point. So I was expecting prices to push higher and confirm this trading range, but you can see we actually pushed lower here and got another leg down. So at this point, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. I'm waiting. I'd like to see more price action to see if the range actually is going to be the next market cycle, or are we going to develop into some downtrend? So I'm just sitting on my hands, being patient here. If we get a push higher, I was starting to think about some failed second entry short here to take advantage of this range and the support holding. But you can see we rejected again. So once again, I'm just kind of sitting on my hands. I'm patient, just letting prices print and seeing what the next bias is going to be. So once again, we have another uptrend working higher here. So then I was starting to think, okay, we exceeded this high here. So I was thinking that, all right, now the range is really starting to kick in. You can see that support is continuously holding. So I was starting to think about some second entry long here, but you got a tiny break in a new high. And then we instantly pushed back below the EMA. So I was like, okay, this range isn't as strong as expected. You can see somewhat of a bearish imbalance in this range. And then we pushed lower here. So at this point, we had this downtrend, excuse me, this downtrend working lower. News came out in this area, that's why you got this big volatility spike. And you can see there was an attempt to create a new low of this downtrend. But the range, once again, held the support here. So we pushed back above. You do get some like failed second entry short here. But it's just, I mean, the news just came out at this point. The bias isn't super confirmed. The support is holding. But I just want to be a little bit patient here, mostly because of the news. Let's just let price action develop more, get us our next established trend. I just don't want a quick fake out because this news caused some volatility. So I'm patient at this point. I like to see some push maybe above these highs, get some nice established trend, maybe a second entry long at the EMA. But let's see what happens. We're back below the EMA again. We have a first entry long, second entry long failure, which once again, this bearish imbalance is quite kicking in. Failed second entry long could be decent, but it'd have to form right at the EMA. And it's getting quite, quite into the middle of the range, getting quite tight. It's almost tempting to bring your resistance lower like this because of so much of a bearish imbalance. So, I mean, these setups, I really, when the range starts getting real tight like this, I like to buy at the support and sell at the resistance. The middle of the range just feels quite risky. But we're going to stick to our short-term channels and see if there's something nice that can form for us. If you have a tiny break in a new low, we're getting a push above the EMA, so I'm starting to think about some failed second entry short because once again, this support's holding here. We push up, so I'm thinking about some second entry long, which you can see a tiny break in a new high already. Okay, so price action played out the break in a new high. We went and tested this resistance level. So I'm starting to think about some failed second entry long below the EMA. You have looks like a first entry long pullback, second entry long failure, which is very tempting, but the setup bar wasn't a bullish bar. It was quite bearish here. So it feels real steep on this failed second entry long. So I'd like to see some additional confirmation, but I was considering a failed second entry long in this area as we have a break in a new high and we're coming off of this resistance. But you can see prices pushed up again. And when we push up again and we work lower here, this wider trend wouldn't be confirmed just yet. But if we get some solid second entry long, it could definitely confirm this wider uptrend for us because range didn't hold. The range, it should have pushed prices back into this range. And the fact that we pushed higher here gives us the first sign that there could potentially be a wider channel. So at this point, it's still a little premature. I would need to see some second entry long and EMA holding to confirm this channel. So let's see if we can get it. You can see count reset, first entry long, and we're pushing higher and pushing higher again. So now our trend is definitely confirmed. So I'm just looking for that second entry long at the EMA. And you can see we started off with breaking a new high, some consolidation. Range is the next market cycle. Now we're shifting into another market cycle of bullish channel. So let's see if we can get some second entry long at the EMA. Downtrend working lower, first entry long. I have the first leg with a tiny break. It looks like a new extreme and a second entry long. Great. This is exactly what we look for. So we have count reset, first entry long, second entry long, bullish channels in play. According to trendline rule, we expect a new extreme of this uptrend. This is a great setup to take a chance on. Second entry long, stop loss isn't that big. This is a great setup here. I'll actually take this one live myself because everything aligns here. Uptrends in play, second entry long at the EMA, expect a new high. Perfect setup. And sure enough, we push straight higher, hit the scalp, higher low, formed a little sketchy on my chart, but we're still expecting the new extreme here. And sure enough, prices pushed up and created the new highs. Perfect price action. So now the uptrend played out. I'm sitting on my hands at this point. I'm patient. Uptrend played out with a break in a new high. So I need more price action to see what the next market cycle is going to be. So let's see what happens here. So we push lower, and we have a second entry short, which triggered below this bullish bar here, and the double bar entry is just too big. But you're already starting to get the feel that there could potentially be some wider channel. I was actually eyeing, when I was watching this live, I was eyeing something like this, a bullish channel like this, because it fits quite nicely off these lows. The market geometry fits nicely. We have some confirmations here. So I wasn't playing this break in a new high initially. I was actually playing this wider channel here. So second entry long still, it still makes sense in this bullish channel, and it makes sense with this, with the break of this channel here with the break in a new high. But when I was watching this live, I was playing this wider channel because it just fit quite well. So I actually wasn't too thrilled in this second entry short here because I was still thinking that prices could potentially create a new extreme for this uptrend. But it's very critical in this area because if we break lower, then this is where I'd have to delete this channel, switch to this break in a new high, and adjust to maybe a downtrend working lower. So this is a very critical area to what the next market cycle is going to be. And sure enough, prices break lower. So at this point, I'm deleting this wider channel. I'm sticking with this uptrend with a break and a new high, and I'm adapting into some wider channel like this. I was initially playing something like this because it fit quite well, but then you can see the bottom dropped. So I adjusted, oops, excuse me, deleted this channel, and I started playing something like this. And initially, I didn't have this wide. I had it like this with an overshoot here. So I would have to skip the first second entry short at the EMA. I would need to see this bullish channel play out. Maybe some fell second entry long below the EMA. So now uptrend has a break in a new high. And we get a lower high here, but it just formed way too low. I needed to see something at the EMA, but I was definitely considering some lower high here since the uptrend played out with a break in a new high. You can see those nice two legs here. First leg, pull back, second leg. So let's see what happens. And we push lower and break the lowest low. So overshoot's not acting as overshoot. So I went ahead and widened the channel like this and deleted the overshoot. And now, same thing as was here. We have an uptrend working higher. We're looking for the second entry long on the way up and for a second entry long to create the new extreme when we get that first break. Same idea here, but to the downside. We're looking for that second entry short at the EMA. If we break the channel, then we're looking for the second entry short to create the new extreme. So let's see what happens. First entry short pullback, second entry short, but we're just too far from the EMA. Prices push higher. You have a break and a new high here. And we're back below the EMA, which is great. This is what I want to see. So I'm thinking about some lower high if it forms well, if not a failed second entry long. And you get the lower high here, but it just formed quite sketchy, a little dojiest. There was a tail at the bottom and didn't even trigger. So I was thinking about some failed second entry long. By the time you get the failed second entry long, you're selling so low toward the move. I wanted to see something in this area. But you can see here, prices didn't create the technical new extreme, but this leg acted as an attempt to create the new low, and it's somewhat double bottomed here. So now you have an uptrend working higher. Initially, I was playing this here as a break in a new extreme, and I was thinking about some failed second entry long below the EMA, but you can see um, these two legs back, and then we're back above the EMA. And when we push back above the EMA here, I was thinking, okay, maybe there was some wider channel here, and price action is trying to get the second leg and a new extreme, which is exactly what happened here. But now, when you look at it on a higher time frame, you can see first leg up, pull back, second leg up. So now you know that the bullish bias has depleted. So I'm starting to think about some failed second entry long below the EMA as we're turning quite sideways. So we started off uptrend, break new high. We led into this consolidation, this range. Market cycle shifted to a break and a new high of this bullish channel. Then the market cycle shifted into this downtrend with a break and a new low. And now market cycle is shifting again into this trading range. So now I'm starting to think about some failed second entry long here. Take advantage of this trading range. Let's see what happens. We get the lower high, but it's above the EMA. Can we get the failed second entry long? No, we're back above the EMA. Okay, so it's not that clear right here. It's like an area of development for me. I need to see more price action. Um, I can't draw the bullish channel yet. It's too premature, and it looks like two legs up, but the price action is not rejecting and pushing lower like I would expect for the short. So I'm just on pause right now, waiting for the next market cycle. Let's see. We get the first entry long pullback, second entry long failure here, but it formed quite sketchy on my chart. And I really needed to see something form really good here because I'm very curious why it didn't form here, right? Maybe prices wanted to create that technical measured move because you can see it hit perfectly here. So I was thinking about the failed second entry long, but I needed to see it form a lot better. So I was thinking, I have this downtrend going on. I was thinking about some second entry short here. I have the first entry short, but can we get the second entry short? No, and prices push lower and create a break in a new extreme here. So now I'm just pause. I'm on pause. I'm just letting prices print, waiting to see if this range is in fact going to hold, or is price action going to push lower, or what in fact is going to happen. You have a lower high here, but it just doesn't confirm enough for me. In this case, I would need to see the failed second entry long uptrend played out with a break in a new extreme. We are at this resistance level, but I would like to see the failed second entry long, excuse me, to confirm the reversal. You can see prices are back above the EMA, so there's definitely a bullish imbalance in this market here. And then this is what we want to see. Now we broke these lows, downtrend working lower, so you know that at this point the trading range has taken over. We can even shift our resistance level up a little bit higher, and you know that the trading range is now the pattern because we broke these lows, downtrend play. So this is a great area to look for some second entry short to capitalize on the market moving lower because you know that the trading range is now your next market structure. So we have a first entry short which pushed lower, downtrend still in play, quite a nice move down. So I'm thinking about some second entry short at the EMA to take advantage of this downtrend needing a new low. And you can see we're coming up at the close already. But I have a first entry short. Can we get some second entry short? Second entry short, but it's got quite volatile here. And prices pushed lower and created the new low. Perfect price action. And that was the end of it at the close here. So great price action today, very predictable. There was one great setup that I actually took today. But other than that, price action was very predictable. A good fun day to trade. But we'll go back and summarize this quickly. We have an uptrend with a break in a new high. We led into some consolidation. This range was the next market cycle here. Then the market cycle after was this uptrend with a break in a new extreme, which shifted into this downtrend with a break in a new low. After this, we had an uptrend working higher with a break in a new high, and we had a bearish correction here, and then another second leg up for this initial uptrend. But you can see you're starting to get the feel that there's some potential trading range here. And sure enough, we had this like prolonged bullish pressure here, but eventually prices ended up confirming the resistance and pushing lower, as you can see here. And we already knew that there was very likely that this range was going to be the next market cycle because the two legs up and then prices just kind of hovering around this level without creating some established trend. But we needed to see it break these lows in order to fully trust that we were going to work lower, because there was somewhat of a bullish imbalance. So it was just more so of an area of development, waiting for price action to clear itself out of this area. But sure enough, it did. It created this downtrend working lower. Um, so this trading range took over, but we can still expect new extremes for our trend channel. So we have this downtrend working lower with the break, new extreme of the uptrend. And now we're pushing lower and create the new low for the downtrend. So great price action. Um, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys found this video to be beneficial, please feel free to hit that like button. If you guys have any comments, feel free to comment below. I actually have a trading community where I post charts in real time and I answer any questions that you guys may have in real time. If that's of any interest to you guys, feel free to check out the link in the description below. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys had a good trading day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.